Hi there, welcome to Sharon's Tutorials. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple survey from start to finish using Google Forms. I hope you find it helpful. As always, hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with my latest tutorials, and let's get started. What you need to do is to either create a Google account or log into an existing Google account. This is so that you can access the Google suite of apps, which is where the Google's form is located. So once you've logged in, you need to go up to the top right hand corner to the Google Apps little grid that's up here. So if you click onto there and go into your Google Drive, this is where all the Google documents and everything are kept. So you need to click on New and scroll down to the More option, and that's where Google Forms is. So if you click on Google Forms, this will open up a new blank template for you to start from scratch. Later on in the video, I'll show you how to create a form using a preset template that's already in there and how to customize that. So for this time being, if you just click on Google Forms, this will open up a brand new blank template for you. So you can see here the name is Untitled Form. So in order to change that, just click on here where it's highlighted, and for argument's sake, if we just put something like Customer Feedback Survey. So, and you can give the form a description if you want to. Just bear in mind that whatever you put in here, the people that answer the survey, they will see this. So just keep that in mind. So it gives you a question, an untitled question here as an example. So you just need to overwrite what's in there already. So for example, the first question could be, what is your first name? And to find the question types, if you click on the drop down arrow here, these are the different types of questions that you can choose from. So this particular question would be classed as a short answer question. So if you click on there, and the short answer text will be there. Just to let you know, the buttons here for each question, it gives you an option to duplicate, so it's quicker. If like the next question would be, what is your last name? So we'd duplicate that and just put in last instead of first. The little trash can here is, or the bin, is to delete the question. Then you have a button here for required. So if you tick this on, this means that people can't submit the questionnaires without answering any questions that are required. And they'll see that they're required by a little asterisk next to the question. So that's all that does. Another option to keep an eye out for are the three dots here. It's worth going into this every time you add a question, because it gives you a response validation. So this means that you can set certain limits to the questions. So for example, the short answer text for this particular question, click on response validation and you can have a length. So you can set a maximum character count of 10 characters or whatever. So it's worth looking at that just in case if you have a question that requires a lengthy answer, you can actually limit it to a number of characters for the answer, so you know you're not going to get a whole page full of the text basically. So in order to come out of that, you just click on the little cross here. So we're happy with that one, that's fine. So what we will do now is duplicate this one, and you'll see the little asterisks. Oh, let me just go back into here. You'll see the little asterisks here. That means that it's a required question, a required answer for that question. So what is your last name? Put last name there. And again, it's a short answer, so that's fine. We'll leave it as required, so that's fine. So now we want to add a new question, and you'll see the floating menu or the floating toolbar on the right hand side here. So this is where you can add questions. You can import questions from other Google Forms or documents that if you have a complicated question that you want to bring into this particular survey, then this is where you would do it. You can add a title and description to each section. So this is classed as a section. You can add an image. You can add video, and you can add sections as you go along. So we'll do that in a second. So this next question, we'll add in a question, and we can put, how happy are you? Oh, can't spell. How are you with our services? question mark. And it's automatically given this a linear scale. So Google anticipates the type of question you want to have depending on the question that you type in. So this has guessed that I want it as a linear scale, which was fine. So this, you'd be rating it from 1 to 5. So number 1, you could just put a sad face if you wanted to. And the number 5, you can put very happy face if you wanted to. And we'll make that a required question as well. So we've got our 3 questions there. The next thing I want to do really is add in another section. So if you just put a section here, and again, you can give it a title if you wanted to. So this section here could have been personal details, or this next section could be all about your experiences with the company or the business or whatever, the feedback basically that you're wanting from them. So we have that, and every time you hover over a question, you can see these 6 little dots here, and the cursor changes to the cross. So that means you can move it. So if you just click and you can drag. So we want this particular question in this section here. So how happy are you with our services? That needs to go in your experiences section. So that's fine. And that's all you need to do. Just keep adding questions to this survey. So rule of thumb, I personally would recommend a maximum of sort of 7 or 8 questions per section. Just because when people log into the survey, they can see there's 8 questions for that particular page or section. Then they'll get a button at the end of that saying next page or next section or move on or just next, basically. We'll add a new question here and we'll say, which logo do you prefer? And yeah, we'll have that down as a question, as a multiple choice question. That's fine. So at the minute it's got option 1. To add another option, just click on there. You can have as many as you like. And there's also an option here for add other, which will automatically just put in other. To get rid of these and of any of these, you just literally click the crosses on the side. So option 1, you could just put down as A. And then there's a little image here, add image. So you can add an image, add the logo image for that particular one for A. Option 2, you could have B, and so on. So for each one, you can add an image and get them to choose which one they prefer. That's one way of getting feedback that's relevant to your business. So the next thing to look at is the settings, which is up here on the right-hand side, the little cogwheel for settings. So if you just click on there, so it gives you a general settings, which is basically you can tick the box to collect email addresses if you wanted to. You can give them receipts to say they've responded. You can require them to sign in, so limit it to 1 response. And then you tick the boxes to say that respondents can edit after submit, or they can see the charts and text responses, etc. So I generally keep those as they are there now. So move on to presentation, and you can show the progress bar. So that would be a bar at the bottom of the survey that would basically say that they are 10% complete or 33% complete, depending how many sections and how many questions there are, obviously. So it's up to you whether or not you want that to be shown. You can shuffle the question order, which I wouldn't really recommend doing that unless you have a specific form where it makes no difference which order the questions go in. You can show a link to submit another response if you wanted to. So I would untick that because I want them to submit 1 response and that's it. And then you can have a confirmation message, so you can type in, thanks for your time, thanks for responding to this survey, your feedback matters greatly, etc., etc. And the final thing is, if you are a teacher and you're doing surveys for your pupils or whatever, your students, you can actually make it into a quiz. So you can give them points and release marks and things, which I think is quite a good little feature for this. So obviously I'm not making this a quiz now. So, but that's one little feature just as an add-on to make it a bit more interesting for people. And then obviously you click save with any changes on there. So just cancel that. Okay, the next thing to look at is the actual theme of the overall survey. So again, go up into the top right hand corner and you'll see the palette, like a paint palette, and that's how to customize the theme. If you click on there, and you have the options of the different colours and the background colours to go with those theme colours. So if you wanted a red, and you can see the background automatically changes to a colour that complements the actual theme colour. So if we had it as blue, yellow, it's up to you, whatever your theme is basically. The header, you can actually choose an image if you wanted to. So again, you have themes that are preset in here already. So if you were doing a business one, you can upload your own images if you wanted to, or you can search for photos that you've already uploaded. So if you had, say, work and school, so if this was a customer feedback one for let's have a look here. We'll use that one. So we'll insert that as the image, and you'll see it appears at the top here. So that this then changes the theme colour to, so all the colours that are in this image will then be in here. So you can complement the actual colour that complements the image that you've selected. So if we go with that one, and we can just change it to that if we wanted to. So yeah, I'm happy with that, that's fine. So now you have your form complete, the next thing you need to do is send it out to people to fill in. So if you click on send in the top here, and you have various different options for this. You can either send it via an email. So this is where you would put in your email address as the subject, and it basically gives it a link that they would then click into to fill out the form. Or you could tick the box here to include the form in the actual body of the email, so they don't have to click out anywhere. They can literally fill in the actual survey in the email itself. So you'd fill all that in and then click send. The next option would be to get a link. So you would just literally copy the link here. You can shorten the link if you wanted to, which makes it a bit easier, and again copy that and send it to people. Another option is to click on the embed. So if you wanted to embed it into your website or a different page somewhere on a different website, then this is what you would do here as well. And you have the option as well to collect email addresses if you wanted to. But again, I would bear in mind the whole GDPR issue with that as well. And the final option that you have in the menu here at the top is the preview. So this is obviously where you preview your survey. Now just bear in mind that this is a live survey for this. So if you actually submit, if you test it and submit it, then your answers will be included in the final responses. So you can see here you've got your image, customer feedback survey. It's got the little asterisks and required here, so any questions with the red asterisk means that they are required. So in order to go to the next, you have to fill in these two questions in order to go to the next section. And you can see here that there's a next button here. So if we just put test and test again and click next, and then you have the next section, which was your experiences. How happy are you with our services? You've got a sad face down here for number 1 and a happy face for number 5. So we'll put number 5, obviously. And which logo do you prefer? Now, if you remember, this would be where you would put the images if you wanted to. So you would just select A or B, whichever one you prefer. So if you clicked that, and then click submit, and your response has been recorded, and that's it. So we'll just come out of there. So now you'll notice that we have a number 1 next to the responses tab at the top of the page. So if you click into there, and you can see, if you go into summary, this will show you a summary of the answers that you've received, and it'll put it into charts and things depending on the type of questions that you have in your form. You can have it listed by question. So this is question 1. Obviously, the more responses you have, then it will be listed down here. And just click on the arrow to question 2, question 3, etc. Or you can have it set as individual, so you'll see exactly who answered what questions, etc. So keep it on summary. And another thing to do would be to collate all your responses into a Google Sheet. And to do that, you just click on this icon here, which will view responses in Sheets. So if you click into there, and you will see it brings over the timestamp, so it tells you exactly when the question was the form was answered. So, and you can see the responses. These are the questions across the top of the columns, and you can see the responses here. So it's always handy to have it into Google Sheets, depending on what you want to use the information for. But it's handy so that you can manipulate it and format it into exactly how you want it for future use. And that's how to create a survey from scratch using Google Forms. I will now show you how to create one using a preset template that's already in Google Forms. Okay, so to view a Google form that's in a preset template, if you click on New as before, scroll down to More, and instead of clicking on Google Forms, you click on the little arrow or hover over the little arrow, and you can choose from a template. So if you click onto there, and you will see different templates that are already set up. So you have contact information, RSVPs, you can have work-related ones, so you have event feedback and order form, a time off request, you have education ones as well. So, and there's a customer feedback one there as well. So if we go into customer feedback, just because that's like the same kind of one that we just did, customer feedback. So you can see there's a title for it, there's a little description underneath, and in here to customize the actual questions, just click into the question. You can type in overwrite that question with one of your own, choose a different type of question if you wanted to. You can say that it's required if you wanted to. You can add another. It's entirely up to you, but they're very easy. If you want to move the questions around, again, you can just click and drag. So you can move these up to here. So we'll have this as the very first question, name. So it's very easy to customize. And again, you can change the theme if you wanted to. So if you wanted a different color, you can change it to match if you wanted to. And just come out of there. So again, Google make it very easy to customize your forms, and they offer a fair number of templates as well. So you can always choose one of those if you don't want to start from scratch. So I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions regarding Google surveys or Google Forms, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer you. And don't forget to check out my other videos on the Google Suite regarding Gmail and scheduling emails. Until next time.